Okay, I don't know if this is the greatest idea, but for some reason I was thinking since it's almost sunset and it's almost too dark to record, I would hop on the bike to kind of like bike to somewhere with more sun. But anyway, I'm Andrew and I'm working on a Ruby on Rails app for YouTube creators. Our first tool is sort of a thumbnail workflow and generation. But if we survive, we'll end up making more tools than that. Now it's Wednesday, which is a weird day to come back from work. But my wife is a nurse, which just means when her weekends take place, my weekends take place. And getting back into the code today was like just quite a struggle. Primarily, I just sort of felt like I lost the context on what I was building. For a while, I was trying to do 6-day work weeks, and I was doing it, one, because my savings is dwindling. I haven't really raised any money, so I've got to, get to like some amount of real revenue relatively soon. But I think I was also doing it because it's so much easier to code now in 2025 than it was in 2024, and definitely much easier than it was in 2023. And obviously part of that is that I'm working on my own app and I, sort of understand and built the architecture myself. But obviously the bigger point of it is that now I've got this little AI helper that can sort of prevent me from having to write unit tests, prevent me from having to like search up tiny bits of, syntax issues and syntax errors. And it just makes programming very fast and very nice. I sort of feel like I'm at my prime productivity, just as I'm also getting pretty good at this. But the question is sort of how much longer do I have to do this? I think just because some of it's on a bike doesn't mean it all has to be on a bike. Most of what's made coding better for me this past year has been Claude and Sonnet. This is beautiful, but is also the source of the wind. So I'm hoping to put that behind me, and then I'll use... So my normal daily driver is Claude with MCPs, which basically means I get read and write access. Claude gets read and write access to the repo. I also wrote like a small MCP server that can run RSpec, so I can see if tests are passing. And it's pretty good. But I'm sort of always looking for that second model to handle bugs when Claude just can't quite grok it. And this morning, 03 and 04 Mini came out. I don't know why that came out in that order. So I thought, okay, let's try that out. The plan was to use it in Zed's new agent code editor, which is pretty similar to Cursor, but it's only a couple weeks old. So I opened up Zed's code editor to try it out. And of course, even though I think Cursor has it today, Zed is not updated. So I thought, okay, I'll still just try another model today. And I ended up using 03 Mini when I intended to use 04 Mini. And my problem was that I basically couldn't remember what I worked on Friday. So I basically just gave 03 Mini the context of what the problem was, where I thought I was, and then vaguely like what issue I remembered. And it worked. It was sort of like so vague of a prompt that I kind of thought it would just go nuts and start coding a million things, but it didn't. It got it perfect on one shot. Now, it was only a few lines of code, but it still just made me think like right now coding with AI is already very good. So even though it feels Christmas-esque when a big new model comes out, it's already really good right now. With that said, there's also the question that I think is hanging over almost all of our heads, which is how much better does it have to get before they won't need us anymore at all? And I tend to not think it's a month away, but I don't think I'm going to be doing this in 5 years. I don't think I'll be doing this in 5 years. Anyway, it's way too cold. It's way too windy. I think this audio sounds like shit. And I'll see you tomorrow.